Well, welcome everyone to Innovation Interview Student Series. We are here today at the Cryptoeconomics Lab at the University of Cincinnati campus. My name is Sunshine and I am your host, and today's special guest is Kunal Kewalramani. Thank you for being here today and sharing your story. Kunal is a senior at the University of Cincinnati studying computer science at the UC College of Engineering. He has a minor in psychology and a focus on ethics and innovation and technology. He is an honors student and was awarded the STEM and global scholarships during his studies. Kunal has internship experiences as a software engineer in blockchain development and machine learning. He is currently a blockchain developer in the Cryptoeconomics Lab here at the University of Cincinnati. He won second place in the 2020 Innovation Quest elevator pitch and most recently won first place in the CoinDesk International Hackathon competition in October of last year. I'm sure I have not even listed all of his accomplishments, but he has definitely proven himself as a leader in tech innovation. Before we get started today, Kunal, tell me something about yourself that not many people know.
Not many people know that I'm currently learning guitar and also salsa dancing on the side.
Very nice, very nice, very nice. If you had to pick one, which one would you give up and which one would you keep?
So I think it's more like a seasonal thing. Like right now, since it's winter, like I'm more into like guitar, but like when it's summer, Cincinnati has a lot of like salsa dancing classes for free.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and get started. The first question I have for you, I noticed your minor in psychology. Could you give us a little background on why you decided this major and how you've been able to use this in your current experiences?
As you mentioned before, that my minor in psychology is focused on my passion in ethics and innovation in technology. This has to do a lot with like the scenario in today's world with technology actually not working for people, but against them in some reasons. And part of the reasons is that when people develop the softwares, they're not necessarily thinking how it will affect the people, but only thinking in more of a businessy sense, like if it's profitable or not. An example would be Amazon's resume reviewing AI, which rejected every resume with the word woman in it. And the biggest reason for that was the data that the AI was fed was from all the employees' resumes of that company, which are mostly male. Now, those kind of things are unethical in my opinion, and they scrapped that project. That those things can be resolved with some human intervention and some like ethical focuses. A lot of companies right now are also coming up with their own ethics board of conduct. I decided on taking a minor in psychology because I wanted to understand how people work, how people think, and like how I can add that humane side of things to whatever technology I'm working on.
Very interesting. Now, do you think that you can apply human psychology to AI to make it better?
There's always going to be some unconscious bias humans have whenever they're working on something, and that's just inherent in you and like not really visible. Like I said, in the case of, for example, Amazon's AI, steps could have been taken to like actually make the AI so that it doesn't reject any resume with the word woman in it, which is basically going through the data that you have and making it as less biased as possible, increasing the fairness basically. So yeah, it depends on the people who are working on it. It depends on the intentions of the people working on the technology.
That's fair. That's fair. In October of last year, you competed in the Web3 Hackathon, which is a cryptocurrency hackathon. The event was sponsored by the popular site CoinDesk. If you don't know about CoinDesk, they specialize in digital currencies like Bitcoin. You won first prize in the hackathon and earned a $25,000 prize. That's not a small chunk of change. You worked with Professor Dr. Jones to create realCashFlow, which is a payroll software that will pay workers daily and inflation and adjusted wages. First of all, congratulations. What a great accomplishment. But can you tell me about realCashFlow and how you sparked this idea of using digital assets of cryptocurrency for inflation adjustments?
As we have seen in the last 1 or 2 years, workers' wages have gone up by about 4 to 5%, but inflation went up by about 9%. So people who lived especially paycheck to paycheck or are paid hourly, which includes a lot of students like me, were affected a lot. I think I mentioned before, like grocery prices, they change every day, but workers' wages do not. So like people who are in this situation are gonna get affected a lot. So that was our like general thing that happened over the past 1 or 2 years with like people who are suffering because of this. Along with like my ethical side, I've always been like passionate about financial education and financial health. Professor like Jones gave me the opportunity to come on board and work on like some ideas with him, and this was one of the ideas that came up on how we can tackle inflation. We attended CoinDesk Consensus in Austin in June last year. It's probably the largest Web3 focused conference where this hackathon was introduced, which is a 2-month long event. And we thought, like, let's give it a go. Let's see if we can
Sure.
submit an idea. If it gets some validation, then we actually start working on it and hopefully do some good. The idea was basically in 2 parts. One was paying people daily. The research has shown that if people are paid daily, they can start saving earlier. They can start investing earlier. They will also be able to like plan ahead for like emergencies, and also they know how to budget better. Instead of like, since I mentioned being paid hourly, your wages might fluctuate. Being paid daily, you have an idea of like how much you have every day, and using that as like a good factor for budgeting. The second one was paying them daily in inflation adjusted wages. That's where actually the blockchain came in.
Okay.
So we chose Circle as our like proof of concept platform. They were also one of the sponsors for the hackathon.
I see. So you used a stable coin to make sure, and you just calculate the inflation through the stable coin.
Yes, we wanted to create like a whole ecosystem. So Circle has a concept called yield, where like if you have USDC, USD coin is Circle's stable coin, which is pegged to $1. So if you have USDC, you can basically put it in the Circle yield and you get a certain return rate. So our idea is that the company would give us the employees' wages beforehand and we put it in the yield. And the interest that's accumulated, that will be the hedge against inflation. So whenever inflation goes up, the worker gets slightly more money for that day.
I see. Very interesting. Very interesting. So it's almost like a little savings account depending on inflation, but you're also building the interest up for those higher inflation days.
Yeah, and the company is also not losing money, so it's like win-win. Like the employee is also getting more money to spend on whenever like grocery prices go up or something.
Mm-hmm.
So,
to your knowledge, has this ever been tried before?
Based on our research, we have not found any particular product like this, which is probably also like a major factor that we actually want the hackathon. They really found this idea very like original, never been tried before, because countering inflation is very tricky. Since we have the blockchain ecosystem with the concept of yield and everything, I don't know how it would have been possible before this.
Very interesting. Well, I was just going to grab here because I have your article here. And in the article, it actually says that grocery prices change every day, wages do not. And as inflation raises around the world, workers' wages don't increase. Do you believe that this is power in knowledge and awareness if you were to adopt this inflation?
I think in some way it is power in knowledge and awareness, because to actually implement this product, we will also need a daily account of inflation. And that means tracking everything, tracking prices every day, fuel, grocery prices, and everything. I think that if that is made public, and there is already a product similar to that called Trueflation that tracks inflation prices, if those kind of things exist, and our platform was also planning to be like sort of like a financial education platform for some people, to get people introduced to blockchain, cryptocurrency, how they differ, and also helping them understand some like basic financial things like savings, investing, and everything. Them trying to get them to understand credit and inflation, and also helping them look at this data to account for like maybe future changes might also be very beneficial.
I see. So as you continue to develop and create the realCashFlow, what regulatory requirements do you think that you would anticipate in the future or maybe encounter? And how would you grow the blockchain software to have more immunity to change?
Since it's very decentralized, I think it's a more like a global concept rather than just like local to the US, for example. The one thing I would say is that US still does not have regulatory clarity on the blockchain crypto space, which is definitely affecting a lot of things in this space, even worldwide, because US is one of the biggest players in crypto right now. So that definitely has an effect on us continuing to develop our project. This also leads to like the government not really leaning onto the idea of stable coins as of right now, but they are like warming up to that idea slowly, especially with the Ripple XRP SEC case that's going on right now. Sure. I think that case will be a landmark case, and whatever outcome comes of that will help set the benchmark for like regulatory clarity in the US.
So, Kunal, what would you say is the main hurdle that you're facing as you're developing the real cash flow?
I think there are like two major hurdles which are not necessarily in our hands. One of them is, as I mentioned, the lack of regulatory clarity in the US. The second is the lack of awareness and education about blockchain and crypto. So we know there's a concept of the crypto winter and everything going on where like crypto is struggling a lot. What people need to understand is that crypto is built on blockchain technology and they're not necessarily the same. Blockchain technology has a lot of applications that could prove to be really beneficial. For example, smart contracts and insurance and stuff, like instant payouts, smart contracts and like international money transfers in seconds, minutes through Ripple or something instead of like days through banks right now. That lack of awareness is something that is also, we're trying to like maybe help people understand the difference between crypto and blockchain technology, but that is going to be a hurdle with every new technology. That happened with AI or like the dot-com boom with the internet. Like people take a lot of time to warm up to that idea.
So I have one more question for you. What would you say is the number one barrier, and what do you think will finally drive adoption to blockchain and cryptocurrency in general?
I think, as I mentioned earlier, there is a general lack of awareness and knowledge about like financial education in this country, in the world. I think people have been pushing for financial literacy from like a younger age in high school and stuff, which will help people like try to save, invest earlier, and also again open them up to the idea of like exploring these like newer technologies and see like actually like try to understand them rather than just believing someone. We saw that with GameStop and Dogecoin. People were just investing because some rich person told them to, or like some rich person was blowing it up on Twitter, but they were not really looking at the fundamentals or like why they should invest. And like they were started to invest like their lifelong savings and their rent money and everything, which again is not good, which is also, I feel, part of the reason like we're in an economic downturn right now.
Well, Kunal, I want to thank you for your input, your insight on blockchain as you are a senior and you're leading experts in this area. And I wish you all the best of luck. But before we leave, I do have our new first edition Crypto Lab game that I would like to play. The rubber band broke. It is called the Crypto Lab Speed Scholar. And it is a game of extreme speed. And you have 1 minute. So I'm going to set my phone here. And every one that I've interviewed so far has played this game. You have to get 5 cards in 1 minute in order to be the Crypto Speed Scholar. Some of the questions are easy, some are hard, some are acronyms, abbreviations. If you don't know the answer, I would recommend just saying skip and we'll go to the next one.
Okay.
Timer is on. Transactions on Ethereum network carry a fee called what?
Gas fees.
Yes. Online storage for cryptocurrency provided either by an exchange or a third party.
Like Coinbase or something? Like
online storage for cryptocurrencies.
wallets?
Yes. What kind of wallet?
Software wallets?
Nope.
Cold storage?
Nope.
It's passed.
Co-founder of Cardano.
No. Pass.
A peer-to-peer system for cryptocurrency micropayments that is focused on low latency instant payments. They typically low cost, scalable, and can work across chains and transactions and can be public or private.
Blockchain?
Peer-to-peer system for crypto micropayments focused on low latency and fast speed. They typically are low cost, scalable, and can work across chains. I'm going to pass. A group that works together towards a shared goal and it abides by rules.
DAO?
Yes. Well, you are done.
Oh.
I think you got caught up on that one, which is very long. So you got one of the harder ones.
Yeah.
But you are in second place with 2 out of 4. So next time. Kunal, thank you again. Thank you for playing crypto. Thank you for allowing me to interview you. It was very nice to meet you, and good luck to you.
Yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity.
Until next time, everyone. Have a great day.